Good evening. This unusual Thanksgiving weekend is coming to an end, with health officials imposing new restrictions just ahead of the holiday. Families were forced to adjust their plans like they have so many times this year. But with COVID cases on the rise, and we know not everyone following the rules, health officials are now concerned that COVID fatigue could soon become a real problem. The first holiday in the second wave is the first test for Ontarians to once again flatten the curve. With COVID-19 cases reaching record high levels this month, we've heard the repeated message from officials across the province.
This year, we're asking everyone to please celebrate with only your immediate household.
Health officials say it is the only way to limit the spread of the virus, but not everyone is abiding by the new rules. We asked viewers how they're celebrating this year, and while many wrote to us about all the ways they're keeping safe, others sent us photos of big family potlucks like they do every year.
This is dangerous. This is a really dangerous time to be doing this.
Epidemiologist Colin Furness says with temperatures dropping, this is a critical period, and he's expecting a big bump in case counts 2 weeks from now.
It's a perfect storm of all kinds of contact while we have a fair bit of background community spread and the weather turning.
Businesses are once again being asked to make sacrifices too. Indoor dining at restaurants now shut for at least 28 days. But this weekend, many pivoted their services to meet a surge in demand for takeout Thanksgiving kits.
We've done Thanksgiving kits like this in the past as well, and they've usually sold fairly well, but not as quickly as this.
Smaller meals for smaller dinners at home.
I'm thinking that this is a new trend. So, who doesn't want to have somebody else cook their turkey and have no dishes?
Meantime, it's been a particularly hard season for the province's most vulnerable populations, with the pandemic pushing more people into homelessness and shelters cutting back on beds to allow for physical distancing.
This whole season has been very, very difficult for them.
A lineup outside the Scott Mission this morning wrapped around the building.
Happy Thanksgiving! Hold on, I have something for you.
Staff handing out at least 300 turkey meals, determined to make this a special and memorable Thanksgiving.
This is like family for them. This is home.
Good.
While normally 150 people could gather indoors for the meals here, this year they've limited the number to just 20 at a time. Toronto's mayor offering this message of hope.
Happy Thanksgiving to everybody. I know it's a tough time right now, but better days do lie ahead. The province hasn't released COVID-19 case numbers today as a result of the holiday, but we know that yesterday Ontario reported 649 new cases. That's the lowest increase we've seen in 5 days. Ahead on City News, more from our conversation with Colin Furness. We'll dive deeper into these numbers and what they could mean for the weeks ahead. The province did not release its daily COVID-19 numbers today as a result of the holiday, but yesterday Ontario reported 649 new COVID-19 cases. That's the lowest increase we've seen in 5 days. I spoke with epidemiologist Colin Furness about what the dip could mean.
One day of data is never enough to know what's going on. You need to see a longer trend. The fact that we are changing testing criteria, the fact that we're doing less testing, that we're pulling back on that we have backlogs, it's impossible to interpret day to day what a lower number might be.
And in fact, Furness is concerned that 2 weeks from now, we could be seeing a bump in cases as a result of this weekend's Thanksgiving gatherings. He's also concerned about all the various populations mixing, parents with young children who have a lot at stake with keeping schools open, seniors who are concerned about their health, and 20-something-year-olds who are the least likely to be facing any serious health consequences.
Thanksgiving is particularly worrisome because all these groups mix. And that's why we really wanted people to stay home and keep to themselves this coming weekend, because it's that mixing of really different populations with different risk profiles and different behaviors, different risk tolerance.
Ontario health officials had projected 1,000 cases a day in the first half of October. Thankfully, we have not seen those numbers yet. The closest we came was Friday with a record high of 939 cases.